Buckle in, we've got an exciting update for Marvel Rivals. Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? My name is Blitzwinger, and of course, today, once again, I get to talk about Marvel Rivals, and one of my all-time favorite characters is, of course, the one and only Venom. And now we have a full gameplay showcase for that character, which we're going to break down in this video. In addition to that, there's an exciting new skin that you can unlock while participating in the upcoming closed beta test. And as if all that wasn't cool enough, they also have confirmed some exciting tournament and competitive details for this upcoming test as well. So we're going to break it all down in today's video. Of course, if you guys do enjoy today's video, like I always say, if you could take a quick moment and leave a like on today's video, that would be absolutely awesome. And without further ado, let's dive on in. So first and foremost, can we all just agree that this has got to be one of the absolute coolest looking Venom designs in video games? I mean, it's a character that has appeared in so many different games, but this has got to be one of the best looking reinterpretations. Now, with that in mind, let's get into the nitty-gritty and all of the actual details around the character. Now, first and foremost, we do have an official confirmation that Venom will indeed be a Vanguard class. Now, for those of you that don't remember what Vanguard means, it's essentially a tank. It is a character that usually will be in the front, absorbing a lot of the damage, so that in the back, in the meantime, all of your DPS or damage dealing characters can rain down tons and tons of damage very quickly. Now, the interesting thing is that, of course, being a Vanguard means that Venom has a lot of HP, and holy moly, the default health bar it looks like for Venom will be at 700 health. However, interestingly enough, he seems to have this kind of overshield ability. I don't want to call it Symbiote Surge, since we know that Symbiote Surge is an actual team-up move in Marvel Rivals with Penny Parker and Spider-Man, but it is kind of a Symbiote Surge looking ability, where essentially by hitting the E button, it looks like he's able to almost generate sort of like energy or like lifesteal from the enemies around him. And at one point during this gameplay trailer that they showcase, his health bar seems to indicate that with that overshield, it could go up as high as 1,958 hit points, which is absolutely insane. I mean, that seems like it is going to make him a very, very difficult enemy to take down quickly. Now, another thing that will make Venom very difficult to defeat is most definitely going to be his mobility. So in this trailer, we get to see that Venom will indeed be able to crawl on walls, which is obviously pretty cool, but in that footage, you can also see that you have the option to run on walls, which means that you could traverse quicker while scaling the side of a wall. But in addition to all of that, of course, he does have web swinging, similarly to the character of Spider-Man, which of course we've seen previously in the original test or closed alpha test for Marvel Rivals. And the reason why I think that's intriguing is due to the fact that I feel like most of the time when we get tanky characters in video games, they very rarely have a whole heck of a lot of mobility. But interestingly enough, of course, a lot of people have drawn parallels to Winston from Overwatch when talking about Venom. And I feel like that is a very, very good comparison, because both characters are tanky and both characters have a whole heck of a lot of agility, coupled with, of course, the abilities that you expect from a tanky character. Now, of course, we also need to be able to do some damage, and interestingly enough, Venom will not be using his fists to do damage. Instead, it seems like he has these symbiote tentacle arms that kind of come up from the sides of his shoulders and fire away symbiote damage, so you'll be able to obviously fight at a long range. You don't have to worry about getting really, really up close into melee range, which I think is intriguing. And then in addition to that, he does have an ability, which is, at least in the gameplay trailer, it is the F keybind ability, which is going to be the diving strike, where essentially while you are perched on the side of a building or while web swinging, you'll be able to then dive down and deliver a diving strike on the foes below. But of course, you won't be able to just strike from above, you'll be able to strike from below as well with Venom's ridiculous looking ultimate. Now, of course, if you're like me and you've played Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare, you'll probably be reminded of a character by the name of Chomper, who had a very similar sort of move where essentially he would burrow underground and then strike enemies from below. And Venom kind of functions in a very similar capacity, where he creates kind of a pool of symbiote ooze, dives into that pool, and then you can go burrowing underneath your enemies, coming up and striking from below. Now, the interesting thing is that, remember that overshield ability that I mentioned a little bit earlier? Well, it seems like when you deliver the ultimate as Venom, I'm not 100% certain of this, but from what I could see from the gameplay trailer, it looks like some of the damage, or maybe all of the damage that you do commit with the attack, will actually replenish your overshield, allowing you to once again sustain longer in the fight and give into the idea that, again, this is supposed to be a very tanky character. Oh, and another thing that I did want to mention that I guess is kind of a good thing in terms of balancing, because so far you probably could be listening to this and saying, holy moly, Venom sounds like he's going to be the most overpowered character possible. But one thing that does seem to be a weakness for Venom is that it seemed like even when he was burrowed underground on the way down, and when he was actually inside the venomized pool, he actually does still take damage, because you can see even in the gameplay trailer, his health bar continues to go down even when he is already fully inside of his ultimate form. So I think that that's actually kind of a good thing, because it gives you a chance as the team trying to get away from Venom to actually defeat the enemy before it can strike from below. And then, of course, the most exciting part of this freaking trailer was, without a shadow of a doubt, the reveal that we get about halfway through, and that is the exclusive skin that you can earn by competing in the closed beta. And this is, of course, the skin that they title the Cyan Clash Venom. Let's be honest, if you played the original Marvel vs. Capcom games, you know without a shadow of a doubt that this is a reference to that design. What a cool recolor. I love the fact that A, this recolor looks awesome, B, you can earn this recolor for free while competing in the closed beta test that is obviously upcoming, and C, the fact that actual abilities are recolored to match the skin. Like, they actually went through all the trouble we see to not just go ahead and recolor Venom himself, but his tendrils are recolored, his ultimate is recolored. I think that's such a cool attention to detail, and I cannot wait to unlock this one. Oh, and another really cool detail that I think a lot of people have completely ignored about this gameplay trailer is that it ends with the signature of Edward Eddie Brock, which, of course, first of all, confirms that this version of Venom is indeed Eddie Brock. But in addition to that, why the heck would they have that signature there, if not to possibly tease the idea that we might get another Venom host down the line? Especially when you take into consideration the type of game that Marvel Rivals is, Agent Venom Flash Thompson would make perfect freaking sense for this game. So hopefully that means that he is planned to come out at some point down the line as well. But that wasn't all. Not only did they go ahead and drop the Venom gameplay trailer, along with that gameplay trailer, of course, like I just mentioned, they did confirm that the Cyan Clash redesign will be available by unlocking XP and completing the Galactus Quest events inside of the closed beta test. So similarly to what we had to do with the Scarlet Witch skin during the closed alpha, basically for the closed beta, we will have the Cyan Clash Venom available to us as well. But that's still not all, because on top of that, they did go ahead and announce a new tournament. So obviously, similarly to what we saw once again during the closed alpha test, for the closed beta test, they are going to be hosting a tournament as well. Except this time, it's not just one, it's not just two, three, but instead it will be 4 different tournaments being able for you to compete in. Now, keep in mind, they are classified as following. They do have a North American tournament for the PC platform. They have a European tournament for the PC platform, and they're going to have an Asia tournament for the PC platform. So those 3 distinct regions will have all separate tournaments that you could compete in order to have the best possible latency to give yourself the best possible chance at winning. Now, on top of that, because of course the closed beta will also be arriving on consoles, they will have one unified test available for console players as well. Now, the title of this tournament is War of the Realms, which is obviously a cool comic book storyline, but very cool to see that being integrated into, I guess, the mythos of Marvel Rivals as well. In addition to that, they did clarify that you can choose to participate in any one of these particular tournaments. However, with the caveat that you can only register in one. So whichever one you choose, if let's say you want to play on PC and you're located in North America, then most likely you'll probably pick that one, which means that then you will not be able to compete with that same account on the console one. So keep that in mind and choose wisely. And the final piece of information that I did want to cover in today's video is the fact that they have confirmed that there will be ways of earning extra codes or extra invite codes. First and foremost, of course, we have Twitch drops returning, but in addition to that, I am very, very excited that they are bringing back the extra invite code system from the closed alpha test, where basically, if you or your friend have the game and you've gained access to the closed beta while you're playing, once you hit level 6, you'll then earn access to another additional code. Now, again, this is a first come, first serve basis, and there's a daily limit of how many of these codes are going to be given out. But last time, me and all of my friends who did not get access right away were able to share a code, and then that person would hit level 6 and they would share their code. And ultimately, everyone in my friends group who wanted to try out the game was able to try it out. So I think it's a very clever way to get people to play the game and ultimately rally more of your friends to join the game and try it for themselves. So there you go, guys. That is the update for Marvel Rivals. I cannot freaking wait for July 23rd when the closed beta launches. I will be live streaming it. I hope to see you guys here on YouTube. Of course, in addition to all of that, if you guys enjoyed today's video, please don't forget to leave a like. Thank you so very much for all of your continued support. And of course, I will hopefully catch you guys here on the next one. Have an absolutely fantastic day. Peace out. See you later, alligators. Bye-bye, everybody.